tired and weary and have laid their bodies down. Place where danger waits, and it's bound to forsake me. So stupid minded, but I go crazy when I can't.
Let it be written, so let it be done.
Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. But this is a special podcast because this is not just the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Welcome to the Mic Council, where we talk about issues that affect the hip hop culture that go outside of music. So even though we're talking about a hip hop battle today, we're also going to talk about how this battle even went outside of the culture and affected it through the use of stands, fans, and technology as well, and where this is going to lead the culture going forward. Before we get into that, my name is Karev. Thank you for following Heritage Hip Hop. Make sure you hit the like button when you come in. Today's all about comments. All right, I'm looking to get comments. I'm looking to get what you have to say, and I have my board today, and I was looking to get phone calls today. If the board is not working the way I need it to, I'm going to put the number up and we're going to take the phone and put it to the microphone so people can hear what you have to say. Because I would like to know what you think about this hip hop battle. Where do you see it going as far as the culture going forward? And what was your take on it? Because this battle perfectly divided not only the fans, but it divided the culture. It divided how people look at hip hop, how people take in hip hop, and it also pushed the boundaries on what can be done inside of a hip hop battle, which was the most interesting part about this thing. Because let's not get it fucked up. The battle was garbage for a while. I don't care what y'all say. The beats were very, very trash. There was a lot of trash beats in this battle, right? But then something happened in the battle that changed the way hip hop battles are going to be done. And we're going to talk about that in a quick minute. Like I said, when you come in, please hit the like button, hit the comments. I'm going to put the phone number up to call. Like I said, if the board's not taking, we're not going to do all that. We're going to see if this works with it. If it's not working, I'm going to give you the number to the phone that is not going to go to the board. I'm going to hold my phone up to the microphone so people can hear you. You got to state your name, where you from, et cetera, et cetera. But I want comments. I want us to go in on this subject tonight. So, but without further ado, if anybody is late to the party, hasn't seen what we're talking about, this is what we're talking about. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar and the hip hop civil war. Usually in hip hop battles, right? Two MCs, right? And they take a side, and it's your fans versus your fans. Then the quality of the music is what decides who won the battle. This was the first battle that went love and hip hop ish. This is the first battle that went technologically savvy. And this is the first battle in a long time where people of all ages stopped and focused on hip hop. This makes this one of the greatest battles ever done. And it also made this one of the most prestigious battles done because not only was the title of who was the best on the line, it also pushed the culture forward to see who's going to up the ante and make the next battle just as memorable. There's many memorable battles in hip hop, and there's many that's not memorable. What's your favorite battles in hip hop? You know, oh, we got a comment. Nas said the internet won this battle. Well, that's technology. We'll get there. What is your favorite rap battles of all time? Some people say Nas and Jay. Some people say Ice Cube versus NWA. Some people will say Common versus Ice Cube, Benny Siegel and Jadakiss. If y'all don't know about the Memphis Wars, 3-6 Mafia had issues with people that used to be in their groups and they battled them. You had KRS-One and MC Shan for those who may or may not know who are of age or who may not be. And that's what made Queens become so desolate that when Nas came back and brought back Queens, you had the East Coast versus the West Coast. And I don't mean Biggie and Tupac, rest in peace, because those were murders and assassinations. I'm talking about Tim Dog versus the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We have Cannabis versus LL. That was a great one, maybe. But the battle has always been a personal favorite of hip hop, part of hip hop for me, because it showed how good people are in hip hop. And we had fans and stands that really fucked up this battle because some people on the stand part of it said that hip hop was never started with competition or battling. It was just people trying to get away from gangs. But the people battled when they danced, they battled in their rounds, they wanted to be the best MC at the party. So what the fuck is he talking about? And that's exactly what I mean. You have people who have come into the battle arena and want to define hip hop, but don't know what the fuck hip hop is. So I'm going to cover the fans and stands aspect because the people who said that are full of shit and they stupid. But we're not going to go hard. We're not going to go hard on them for that. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Y'all are helping make this show rock. Thank you very much. And the reason why, for everybody asking, the reason why this show ain't on Instagram no more, because Instagram don't fuck with me. So they don't fuck with me, fuck them. We're going to do this over here. All right? So let's get into it. All right? So the history between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. They did songs together at one time. They were up and comers. They were friends. It seemed like, right? Then we had Kendrick's verse on Control, the Big Sean joint, right? But basically, he said he wants to murder everybody because he wants to be the top guy, number one. He doesn't want to be friends. It's a friendly competition, a friendly fade. He loves them, but he wants to be number one. And people took exception to that, right? Then there was rumblings going on about how Kendrick and Drake were going, had issues and they were going at each other. Then there was the King Kunta line where he said, all right, a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the fuck happened? People said, oh, okay, he taking shots. Now, most of these things were sort of subliminal. Hey, sis, what's going on? So it was sort of subliminal, but people knew who the hell he was talking about. But it all came to a shocking front. It bubbled up when Drake and J.Cole did First Person Shooter. Cole basically said that there was a big three. They were the big three and they started the league, right? But he also called himself Muhammad Ali to say he's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And that he was the one. You know what I'm saying? And Drake took it a step further in the song and said, there's no big three. He was sitting at the dinner with some girls and said, who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT? There is no three. It's just Drake and Cole. Meaning Kendrick ain't got nowhere to be seen in this motherfucker, right? And that's when shit went sideways. I'm just giving a history of the beef, y'all. Then Future, I took notes. That's what I'm looking over here. Future and Metro put out the Like That verse, right? And Kendrick put out there is no big three, it's just Big Me. Once again, going back to his Control verse, saying he wants to be the top of the game. He's King Kendrick, right? This shit got Kendrick in trouble in a lot of ways with people on the East Coast, because during this time he called himself the King of New York, and I know about all the people answering him back, but I guess nobody cared, so they didn't really. Yeah, true. Nobody cared, so they didn't really fuck with it, right? But this time, this was centered on the big three, right? We also had J.Cole drop a verse and then apologize. And that was one of the most fucked up things about this battle, is because if somebody punched you in your face, do you punch them back and then apologize for punching them? It's not that Cole apologized that was the issue. It was the fact that he apologized and then said whatever happens, he's going to take it because that's his boy. And you hit me and I hit you back, it's on me. He said, yo, my spirit in the wrong place. Like I said, the apology ain't the issue. It's how he did it. Because as an MC who talks about being Muhammad Ali, being the GOAT, rapping with dead rappers, and dead rappers are going to say he's the best. Check out Johnny P's Caddy with Benny the Butcher. And check out Family and Loyalty with Gangstar. Yeah, salute. Family and Loyalty by Gangstar. He talked about rapping with Ghost and how he's the best rapper and even a dead rapper. I mean, he's the man. He did a song with Lil Yachty and he ripped it. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole has all these great verses talking about he's the best. But can you be the best when you shoot at somebody who shot at you first and then you apologize? Even if that's your boy. Listen, I have friends that are really tight. I'm really tight with. Shout out to Nas from A&N R&B. That's one of our partner on podcast. Shout out to Big A. Shout out to Double S Shot Skills. You know what I'm saying? Like friends of mine, people I could call on the phone and really kick it with. You know what I'm saying? Mentor me. Shout out to Big Seven and Big Zay and all these people. But if they say some shit about me, I'm gonna say some shit back. But then as men, we could talk behind closed doors. And in the public, I could say, that's my man. We talked about what we talked about, and that's it. It's over. Don't expect nothing else. That's my guy. And that's it. Instead of apologizing and saying, it feel lame. And then you play the song right afterward where you talk about you're the best alive, and there's people who are dead and who are going to testify to you. When the living greats are saying, no, you apologize and fucked it up. But this isn't about J. Cole too much because he already cemented his failure with that. After the Like That verse, right? Future and Metro came back with another album. So We Still Don't Trust You, right? And they brought in ASAP Rocky, The Weeknd. J. Cole was on that, which is crazy. And it all started spiraling and getting out of hand that everybody was attacking Drake, right? So Drake answered them with a song called Push-Ups, Drop and Give Me 50. Entendre, not just push-ups because he's disciplining them, but it was about Drop and Give Me 50 was also about Kendrick. And Drake went at The Weeknd, Rick Ross, Metro, Cole, and Kendrick. And with Kendrick, he talked about his height and his size, pause for that. But he talked about how you're going to be big stepping with a size 7 men's. He basically called him small. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that he's not on his level, right? Let me give you the timelines for this. Future and Metro dropped on March 22nd. They were dropped again on April 12th. Drake dropped on April 13th. But then surprisingly, on April 13th, I love you, man. That's my grandson, y'all. Say hi. Hi. That's my boy. I'll see you later, man. I ain't ashamed to show my boy. I love my boy. But on April 13th, when Drake dropped Push-Ups, Rick Ross answered right back. Champagne moments. And this is where it got personal. Because Rick Ross called, he was chastising Drake. That's the first time we heard BBL Drizzy. That's when he started calling him white boy, and the story of Added On started coming back around. Where people were talking about something wrong with that boy Drake. You know what I'm saying? And his half white, half black ancestry kind of came back to him. We started seeing pictures of him in bar mitzvahs with the Jewish joint on, right? I forgot the name of it offhand. And he was doing Jewish things. Shout out to Jewish people too. But he was doing Jewish things, you know what I'm saying? And it got to the point where he was chastised being called white boy. And the reason why that was brought out is because early in Drake's career, people were using that to get at him because he's half white, you know. And there was a saying about certain guys with white mothers and black fathers, how they use the N-word and stuff like that. You know, it came back to bite him in the ass. You had to, shout out to Nas. He said the pictures of him in blackface and things he did when he was acting, you know, it came back to hurt him. And Rick Ross had a sore note with that boy because people start really going back to who Drake was before we got the Hell Yeah, All Rights and all that, right? That was April 13th. April 19th, that's when history changed in this battle because Drake dropped the tailor-made freestyle. And through everything he said, the one thing everybody remembered was the AI voice. The AI voice he used for Snoop and Pac, Tupac Shakur, rest in peace, where they were prep talking Kendrick to answer, and Drake went to his back-to-back formula with dropping songs back-to-back because Kendrick was taking too long to answer. You see what I'm saying? And wow, this one was tough because this is when the battle started to turn from the fans to the stands. We'll come back to that later. And with the AI, the mainstream and the underground started to battle too. We'll talk about that later. I was on a live with MC Search. Shout out to MC Search for third base. Whether you like him or not, I respect him. He was in the game. And MC Search said Drake using the AI was fire. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell you what I thought when I first heard it. It was genius, but if the mainstream ever got wind of that and they took it to where they could use it to make money, it's gonna fuck up hip hop and it's never gonna be the same again. Here's the flyer for that show right there. Drake ruins hip hop using AI and battle rap. So I was on it back then, right? We're gonna keep it in the context of the battle so we can move on. That song or that freestyle, because it wasn't a song, it was a freestyle. That freestyle struck a nerve with a lot of fans. And then the stands got overpowered. And then the song everybody forgot about came out on April 20th. There was a Like That remix with Kanye West got at Drake and J.Cole, where he said if you were a girl and you played J.Cole, the vagina gets dry. And he said whatever he said about Drake, and you already know that him and Drake are beefing because of Kim Kardashian and the wife drama, right? Leave a comment, y'all. I want to know what y'all thinking, and make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in. I want to know what y'all think so far. I'm just going over the battle so far before we go into what we're talking about. On April 30th, 10 days after that, 11 days after Drake dropped, Kendrick Lamar changed the perspective of who he is by dropping Euphoria. Now, Euphoria brought in thought-provoking hip-hop. Once again, the fans loved it, and the stands went crazy. And we'll talk about that. It was vibes versus substance. Start talking about Drake's kids. Start talking about, instead of beefing with Pharrell, beef with Pusha T. Push, instead of Pusha P, how about you Pusha T? Don't even think about pushing me, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And he also used the DMX line that's very famous about Drake. We said, I don't like his face. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. That was very deep. You know what I'm saying? And then May 3rd, Kendrick took Drake's formula. He took his formula, ladies and gentlemen, and what he did was he went back to back. That's right. He used his own formula against him. And what it led to was the 616 in LA freestyle. And that's what Stan culture started going crazy, talking about the 1,200 different meanings of 616, Father's Day, OJ, killing somebody, white chick or something, and the Bible verses and all that. And it just went crazy, right? He used Drake's time signature. He talked about the people from his camp leaking information from him, right? Now, That same day, May 3rd, Drake dropped Family Matters. And he used the cover of the single to be the van, same van like Good Kid, Mad City, right? Where Drake said Kendrick is a domestic abuser. He talked about Ross, Kendrick, Keem, Weeknd, and Metro Boomin in the song, right? Talked about all of them. He got on all their asses. They shit, right? He killed them. Or did he? Because right after that, on the same day, Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams, a letter to Drake and his kids. He gave a letter to his son telling him how his father's a piece of shit. He told Drake to be a father to his daughter. He talked about Drake's personal problems about gambling and all types of other shit and called him a sexual predator who fucks with minors. Then on May 9th, Kendrick drops Not Like Us, where he's dancing to this man's pain. And that was one of the hottest things that came out, was Not Like Us, right? And the cover of the single was Drake's house with the sex offender pin. Many sex offender pins, which mean his team is sex offenders and they all live under the same roof, work under the same roof, which is very crazy. He called Drake a colonizer also, because on Family Matters, I believe it was Family Matters. I'm not sure. I could go back. Y'all could tell me if I'm wrong. And if I am, please do, because I need the comments. Drake fucked himself up when he said Kendrick rapped like he's trying to free the slaves. That was fucked up. So Kendrick came back and called him a colonizer. Very interesting, right? It's very interesting how race played a big part in this, because even DJ Vlad got into it with a college professor when she said, this is black folk business. Don't get into this. And he was trying to go hard on her to try to get her fired, and then it backfired on him. And we'll talk about that later if y'all want to. But May 5th is when his battle rap changed, when Metro Boomin dropped BBL Drizzy. And it wasn't a rap. It was a damn instrumental with vocals on it. This is the first time in history a hip-hop beat was submitted to a beef. Metro put out a Twitter tweet, whatever, and said to Drake, don't let me expose you for who you are. And the shit that you did to me, if I told the world, you're done. You're finished. But I'm going to save you by doing this. And I'm going to let you know how I feel by doing this. And he dropped that BBL Drizzy instrumental, which was fucking genius. That really turned the battle to something totally crazy. And in the midst of all that, on the same day, Drake dropped The Heart Part 6. The Heart is a Kendrick thing. And this is when Drake rode away with the white flag and said he's not battling anymore. He talked about not being a sexual predator. He said someone fed him the information so they could get him. And then he admitted to giving them the information to get him in the battle, which is clown shit. So that was crazy. But the last thing Drake said that was a bar that really was fucked up was when he said he wanted to console this man's wife and to hit him up. And when he says hit me, doesn't mean what Kendrick does to her, that he's going to console her and take care of her. And that's how the battle ended. For those of y'all who stayed for that 23-minute revamp, hey, shout out to y'all. But that is very interesting that Drake ended the battle waving a white flag going to this man's wife. That shit is crazy. And if you really, really, really want to think about how this battle ended, Kendrick has to respond to that. If he has an album coming out, he gets the chance to do the one thing that they did not do during this whole battle, and that's make a song. Because I don't think too many songs came out from this. They were mostly freestyles, correct? I mean, forget the beginning. You got the future and everything, right? But Push Ups became an official release. Ross put Champagne Moments out, right? Taylor Made can't be released because of the Tupac estate threatening to sue Drake. Like that, Kanye, that's whatever. Euphoria came out as an official. 616 to LA is a freestyle. Family Matters, I don't know. Was that was a video. Meet the Grams, I don't know. I can't tell you offhand. And Not Like Us came out officially. And BBL Drizzy, whatever. And then The Heart, I don't know if that came out officially. But when you look at the total scope of this battle transcended just music, because people of all ages and generations actually sat down to know what was going on with these artists. Now think about it. Drake is a worldwide phenomenon. He's a mainstream darling, which means Drake, whether you like his music or not, he could drop a song that would get played in Pakistan, Dubai, Asia, then Russia. He's a worldwide mainstream phenomenon who embraces the mainstream and will go hard to make sure his music is everywhere. He follows trends. He goes club music, Afro beats. He does all that. He will sing. He will rap. He will put braids in his head. This man's wearing fingernail polish. He's doing that all to be a limelight artist. Kendrick Lamar, on the other hand, is the champion of the underground. Because he even said in his freestyles that he's not looking for the spotlight. He doesn't like being famous. He just wants to live his life and just make music, right? Rick Ross said Kendrick Lamar is what the closest thing you would get to Andre 3 Stacks in a battle, which was very profound because they both don't be in the limelight like that. They like to be reclusive. They don't like to be out there. But Kendrick, from Section 8.0, Section 80, whatever, to even Mr. Morale, where Drake was misquoting the song in his White Flag freestyle or song, The Heart. Kendrick has always been I drop when I want to, and then I fall back. I do this, and then I'll fall back. So the underground really appreciates him for keeping the tradition of underground hip hop alive. And this is where the civil war in the culture actually started. It started when the mainstream fans started beefing with the underground fans. And this was the most profound part of this because the closest you could have got to this was probably LL and Cannabis. Because Nas and Jay-Z wasn't like this. Because Nas and Jay-Z, it was just hits versus momentum, basically. Because they both were underground and mainstream, right? But Drake is the king of the mainstream. And I think we defined this era wrong with Big Three. But when you look at a Big Three, right? When you look at that, you're looking at it this way. When you look at a Big Three, it's the three top rappers. But this era is more like the 80s, where there's more than three. Kendrick, Cole, Drake, fine. But Future is never put up there. And Future even said he raps better than Drake. And he could give Drake a run for his money. 21 Savage said to academics on his show, people in the street who don't really give a fuck about music think Future is more hotter than Drake. And if academics like, nah, get the hell out of here. And 21 Savage said, no, because I'm a rap person, I know about the billboards, the charts, and all that. But to the average dude on the block, they don't care about that. Future is lit. That makes you think, right? Keeping it in context of the two gentlemen, though, when you think about the billboard and charting and things like that, because even they talked about Michael Jackson and Prince, right, in this battle. Drake and Kendrick Lamar are the actual definitions of the underground artist who made it and the mainstream artist that knows how to make good mainstream music and always stay in the conversation. And that's where the clash started. Because when Euphoria came out, like I said, thought-provoking hip-hop, you heard the main argument people who are music contemporaries and music lovers were having. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to music for I don't listen to music for the lyrics. I listen to the feel. I'm trying to catch a vibe. And I don't want to think too much. When you had the people who say, no, that's what hip hop is. It's lyrics that make you sit down. It's things that when you go back to it, you catch and go, oh my God, did you hear what he said? And then the fans and the stands took that and ran with that shit. Because the fans were standing by their boys, which is cool. But then the Drake stands went crazy with Kendrick can't rap. Kendrick is boring. Kendrick has no classics. I hate his voice. No matter what he says, Drake is going to win because Drake is hotter. Drake used the same fucking formula and rhyme patterns throughout this entire battle until he got mad and rapped fast on Family Matters. That's it. He did the same shit. He said he rapped and then went and then did a damn hook and then you kept rapping or ended the song. People like that singy-songy, wishy-washy shit, because they're not cerebral. And that's where hip hop is falling off as a culture, is that we're not holding each other accountable for what is being said, how it's being said, even the presentation. You see what I'm saying? And that's two different things, y'all. How and presentation, okay? Think about that shit. Because how is the delivery, the presentation is how you give it. You know what I'm saying? Once again, yo, people were sliding with Drake just for the simple fact they don't like Kendrick's voice and they didn't hear nothing he said. Then on the opposite side, all the Kendrick fans was like, Drake is corny, he's sassy, he's painting his nails. And Kendrick said that he was promoting Sexy Red and said he think he's popping ass with Sexy Red. I was like, my God, yo, this is getting ugly. You know what I'm saying? It was getting ugly. And it was like, damn, he's actually pointing out the mainstream appeal of Drake, that he had the power to promote other artists. Drake talked about Kendrick's deal as an underground artist, yet Kendrick talked about his deal and said, well, let's bring up my deal. Look at your lifetime deal that you signed, where Drake could have actually changed the industry on its head. Yet what he did was become a mega 360 deal slave to Universal Music. Shit gets ugly, y'all. It gets really deep. You see what I'm saying? And the fans and the stands went to war on not appreciating the music. It started turning into love and hip hop, where does Drake really have a daughter? If Kendrick was rapping and it was false, then it's not real. Then Kendrick's songs is trash. But it also turned into, well, if Kendrick's not beating on his girl and shit, like people are saying, then that shit is trash. And hip hop has been full of exaggeration. Come on, yo, Biggie was rapping about living in a mansion and shit on Juicy. He had no fucking mansion back then. Well, how about this? You got all these people talking about gunplay, shoot you in the face, battle rap, all that. They talk about shoot you in the face, do this, all this murder. These motherfuckers is murderers for real? Word? Yeah. Not only that, you have everybody talking about all the sex that they get and how they doing their thing, but then you find out some of these guys are sleeping with girls or men or with themselves and each other in the industry. Is all that sex real? And if it is, are they really sleeping with men the way they're trying not to portray? That's the whole Diddy thing, right? And all these dudes who are out here being manscaping, I don't say no Diddy, manscaping, all these men out here manscaping, are they being real with that? Are they bringing it out? Are they saying, look, this is who I am and this is what it is? Are they Lil Nas X in their careers right now? No, they're not. So I don't want to hear, well, we don't know if this is this and this is that. You live on this type of music where people are exaggerating all the time. Think about it. People got on Drake fans because they're ladies, and ladies like his sound. But half these women y'all look at that love this Drake sound that be posting on the internet, somebody's always holding that camera. And sometimes they're in hotels that you've been to. And them dirty bed sheets and them animals in the back show you just how nasty they are. And now you have women getting killed. I don't know if y'all heard, there was a model who a couple months ago got killed because she exposed the people who did her dirty in Dubai and tried to get her to sleep with a camel, and they were giving her money to sleep with the sheik and his younger brother who was 13, which is sex trafficking, by the way. They had all this come out. And then this is what y'all co-sign, which is falsehood, fake shit, bullshit that's given to our kids and given to the mainstream and given out in secret, but it's mainstream. And y'all love this shit. Come on, man. Let's be real. People talk about hip hop, especially in the mainstream, only talks about three things: sex, drugs, and murder. And that's all they try to give us. And that's why Ebro came out and said that the record labels don't want to support hip hop anymore because it's all one-sided. It's all sex, drugs, and murder. And nobody else raps about good things. Thank God we have a Jay Wonder. Thank God we have a Soulless. Thank God we have a Samad Savage. Thank God we have an Ill City. Thank God we have a GB, God bless. Thank God we have people like that. And I'm just naming a couple, y'all. It's more like Call Me Misfit. It's so many. Shout out to Edom Mad Assassin. If you've been on Heritage Hip Hop, you know all these people. But You have all these people that talk about all this other stuff that don't get played, but yet they'll play the stuff that is the destruction of our community. You want to take it even further? People was talking about hot girl summers, but all these women that was talking about hot girl summers had husbands and boyfriends. Well, all these dumbass women out here were trying to have hot girl summers and be hoes and not have a man to go home to, but then do videos about how men don't love them, and we got passport bros and all this other shit. People have used music to destroy the community with falsehoods. The same shit that y'all bringing up in this battle that really doesn't fucking matter because you co-sign that shit in other people's music. Don't think it don't go together? I tell you what. You don't think it goes together? Here's my number. Call in 862-253-1119. And we could talk about that as long as some other things that went on. Because I want to talk about the fans and the stands right now. Because they fucked this battle up, to be real with you. This battle was trash. The beats was trash. It was garbage till it picked up. And when it picked up after Euphoria, where the vibes versus the substance came in, then we started seeing how fucked up it is out there and how people did not really pay attention. People weren't really into this battle. They were really into, well, I just like him. This is why. And this guy's never going to win because this and this and this and this and this. That's not what the hip hop battle is. Of course, the fan is going to ride with the fan, but the fans judge objectively. You know, even with LL and Cannabis, LL had his battle, Cannabis had his battle. Lyrically, Cannabis smashed LL Cool J. But in terms of industry and how to play the game, LL destroyed Cannabis because Cannabis dropped a whack ass fucking album and had no comeback. Trash. Right? Let's just be honest. This battle was different because Drake navigated the mainstream and the underground using the same tactics of what he always used. And Kendrick navigated this battle from the underground and brought the underground to the mainstream by using Drake's tactics and then dropped songs and freestyles and made a dance track. Well, Drake just went hard. Drake said at the end of the battle, he's happy that Kendrick got invigorated and rapped and stuff, and it made him happy because he started rapping again, like Drake was bored. But at the end of the day, when the stands got into it, all that rapping didn't mean nothing. Shout out to my man Watts. Peace. All that shit didn't mean nothing. Nobody gave a damn about the lyrics. Nobody cared because the stands didn't care. And the stands were fighting the fans by talking a whole bunch of bullshit about. They talked a bunch of bullshit about things that did not matter when it came to the battle. We had people talking about if Kendrick really was beating his wife, why this? Or why is Kendrick getting on Drake for being half white when his wife is half white? That has nothing to do with it. I got a call, y'all. Yo, salute. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Checking out the podcast. Say call in.
Yeah.
You guys are taking opinions on the
Yeah.
Sure. What's going on? This is Daryl Watson. What's going on?
Peace, bro. How you?
I'm doing good. Yo. Just definitely checking out the podcast. You guys are doing like big stuff right now, and I'm just checking out the what you guys have to say about the whole Civil War.
Okay. What do you say about it? What was your thoughts on it?
I think Drake is out here looking clownish.
Why is that?
If we're coming down to, I feel like because he lied about his kid from the very jump. If you lie about something like that, then you can't say like, oh, I fed him some info, but the info, like, then if that was the case, you have like a screenshot or something. I thought he probably thought he could, like, I'm bigger than you, his way out of this, which doesn't work with someone like Kendrick because he's a big artist as well.
Mm-hmm. So let's
just thinks like,
mm-hmm.
And I just feel as though like he thought it was going to be like somewhat of a walk in the park, and he was trying to play chess, but I feel like Kendrick was playing chess with him a lot more. You know,
okay.
I mean, you got to take into consideration the fact that they don't like each other from the jump. They never really liked each other. So if someone don't like you, and like I'm an MC, so as an MC, like MCing your friend is like, it's kind of weird because it's like it can only go but so far.
Right.
But if it's someone you don't like, it's like, especially if y'all been in close proximity with each other, and there's just been so much like, you know a lot about this person, it's kind of like, giving that person ammo and they really don't like you. So it's a lot of malice in it, but that's what makes for good, good content, good battle,
So let me ask you one question before we end this part of the conversation. We can go back to other people getting on, and you can continue to watch a call back in later if you would like to.
Of course.
As the fans versus stands conversation in this, how do you think the stands pushed this battle forward, or they held the battle back by not appreciating the musicality of it?
I think if this was the question back when Control happened, it'd be more like that. But I think at this point, it's kind of like, he don't really rock with him. He don't really care for him. They don't care for each other. And I feel like this is like, he's not on TDE no more, so he can say what he wants. It's just a perfect storm, I think. I think I feel like even with Stan and Kendrick clearly won off of the bars, and then off of like just the allegations, like saying Kendrick beat his wife, but you have no proof. But like him saying what he said about him being a PDF filer, it's kind of like he don't have to really say it. It's just like there's stuff out there, and anything with rumors, if there's stuff out there, whether it's true or not, that leans towards it, that's kind of evident.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, and we'll talk about more. All right?
No doubt. We rocking out, for sure.
All right, peace. We got our first call on the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Shout out to Mr. Watson. I salute you. But back to fanning and standing, the fans and stands from the underground to the mainstream brought the war even to the mainstream artists. If y'all notice, a lot of the mainstream artists were riding with Drake very hard during this battle. I don't know if Jay Electronica counts as mainstream, but he had an album out with Jay-Z, so I'll put him in some type of light, right? He went with Drake, and I don't think he liked Kendrick because everybody forgot his verse on Control after Kendrick's verse, right? Cam and Mace initially went with Drake and came back with Kendrick. 50 Cent riding with Kendrick, riding with Drake, the whole time. Drake even called other people into the battle to help him fight his battle, because the game came in and the game was shooting at J.Cole and Rick Ross, but not at Kendrick. Snoop came back and he said he'll drive with Kendrick. So the mainstream people were even divided going with this Kendrick and Drake thing. And Joel Santana of Dipset was like, Kendrick wrote a bedtime story to his son. Like, that's hot. Missing the point of the whole Family Matters song. Meet the Graham song. And it was like, God damn, yo. Did the stands really fuck up how we listen to music? And it went to the mainstream artists, and the mainstream artists were saying some bullshit. Watts said, now I think it's deeper because their sides depending on what they need. Mad bloggers want that Drake acceptance. That's facts. Because Academics got called out on that shit. He brought up Gilly and Academics. I didn't hear what Gilly said, so I have nothing to say about Gilly. I'm not going to talk about something I don't know about. But I will tell y'all this. The fans versus the stands argument in this really fucked it up, because stands of any fan fuck up everything. You have Nas stands. They call them the Nazarenes or some shit. Then you got the whole Avengers, the Jay-Z fans. Then you got these Kendrick folk and these Drake folk. And anybody who's a stan fucks up everything because there's no logic in the conversation. Like me, I'm going to tell you, my favorite rapper is Redman. Redman and Nas are my favorite two rappers of all time. But there's some shit that Redman and Nas have done that made me go, I don't know what the fuck that was. You're not going to hear me go, yeah, everything they did was perfect because that's Redman and Nas. No, every person has flaws. And a stan will be like, fuck the flaws. There is no flaws. They're perfect. And they just manscaping. I mean, inhaling man meat, inhaling it left and right just to be right. And which is crazy, because then we have no perspective. Now we're not using logic. Now we're not using the culture to define what is acceptable and what's not. And that's how race got brought into this, because even with Drake, which would be half white, we have like No Jumper, we have Bootleg Kev, you have DJ Vlad, you have all these other people that come in to commentate on our culture who are not really of the culture. And people will side and just run with them. But look at us. We're of this culture. live it, breathe it, didn't have to learn it. We were born into it. And we were discounted, and stan culture helped push even those narratives. When Doggy Diamond said, and shout out to Doggy Diamonds, yo. Yo, that's my guy, yo. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds. When Doggy Diamond said the culture changed, where people are sending records and breaking records to academics and not like Funkmaster Flex and other DJs, you knew the culture shifted. And the stands went crazy on him. But he told the absolute truth, because when the songs were dropping, academics played them live on his show and even was shouting out how his voice was in the freestyle. He was bugging out because he was doing this, he was in the song. I mean, I ain't going front. Y'all play Heritage Hip Hop in the song. I'm going to play that shit too. I'm going to tell everybody I made it. Yeah, I'm going to do that shit. But academics breaking records is different, because a DJ breaks records. The DJ was the person who always brought people to the party, not the podcaster. So we could break music now on podcasts. Y'all don't see that as changing the culture? Watt said, yeah, but Drake trying to use that and Kendrick flipped it and didn't know like us while he was on him using them as a pawn. Well, yeah, academics is a pawn, but that's what most media is. See, the power of the media is using it to gain attention and marketability. Let's think about it, y'all. What's the media? You have print media, radio, screen, which is like movies and stuff. You have podcasting. That's 4 different types of media. And with that and when you get the media on your side, now you're able to go to the next level and being that big artist and having all eyes on you, right? Which is a perfect segue for us to talk about the technology, because when the AI was used, that was some bullshit. And that really fucked it up, because using the technology really cheapened the battle with the AI. But in the fan versus stan culture, if it wasn't for the technology, look how Twitter played such a big role in this battle. Look at how all the memes, all the parodies and all this stuff. I saw, shout out to my man Nas. He sent me a Last Dragon parody with Show Enough as Kendrick Lamar, and Drake was Bruce Leroy on the Kiss My Converse part, and he kicked him in the face. Yeah, Shawn Michaels for WWE fans, doing Sweet Chin music as Kendrick Lamar to Drake. We have WWE 2K24 with Drake fighting Kendrick Lamar. That shit was crazy. And the technology pushed it forward, because back then, when you had a battle, it was sharing a song, word of mouth, tweet, share, and all that. Now, the memes from the stands played a part. And one of my favorite memes was a person, one of my favorite ones, I can't find it right now, but one of my favorite ones was Sesame Street, where Bert is angry, but you had Kendrick stands, Cole stands, and Drake stands, and y'all arguing, and he just looks mad all around it. You know what I'm saying? Watt says, using Pac, he should have just dropped Family Man Ace and flipped it. Only way he could have won was he played his strengths. True. And one thing about Pac Pac thing that really bothered me is when MC Search said Pac would have co-signed it and it was fire, that bothered me, because you're speaking for a dead man and you don't know what the hell that is. Especially when it comes to AI, people could jack your voice and you don't get paid for it. I don't think any artist would stand by that. So MC Search was full of shit to me when it came to that. Y'all can share this with him. I don't care. I mean, he could use all the industry shit he want with on that conversation, but the bottom line is you're using another artist's intellectual property or his voice to do something, and I think that was bullshit. That was absolute trash. And see me, I don't care. Like I say what I feel. If y'all want to add in, the number's right here: 862-253-1119. Call in, give us some comments. I haven't done a commercial break yet, y'all, because this has been great conversation, and I want y'all to know Heritage Hip Hop is here to talk about all this. Fans versus stans, technology, the civil war of hip hop. Because at the end of the day, let me tell y'all what happened. Metro Boomin using the technology to drop a instrumental diss song now has changed how the diss battle could go. Because now you can see we can have producer beef. We can have a producer call out a artist and use scratches, and Metro use a voice inflected person singing BBL Drizzy best BBL in the whole wide world, right? And no, this was BBL, even though it stands for Brazilian butt lift, he was not talking about this man's ass. He was talking about him taking Ozempic for his abs and saying he didn't work out. He was taking drugs to get his abs. Okay, so we can stop that shit. I'm not entertaining that. But he used that even in a beat to change the envelope to how people can battle now. So now, back in the day, see, when people battled, it was beatboxing. Who had the better beatbox? Who had the better dance? Who had the better rhymes? Some people would try to, I heard Biz Markie, somebody stepped to Biz Markie to battle him, whether it was KRS-One or somebody else, and all Biz Markie did was the WAP, and he couldn't fuck with him as he was rhyming because he was dancing all over his rhymes and then walked away, and he lost because he got embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? This man could have possibly got embarrassed by a fucking beat, and he could not really. How do you battle a beat? Metro changed how the battle scope goes. So now, if a producer has an issue with a rapper, is he going to drop a beat? DJ Mustard wants to battle Conductor Williams, two great producers to me. If they want to battle each other, they're going to battle with beats. Hit Boy and Alchemist did the album together. Now you can tell me producers could do albums together and then battle artists who rap with beats. That shit is incredible. Now I said, why not? I mean, hey, technology makes everything happen now. So if you're technologically savvy, you can actually take something from somewhere else, convert it into a beat or a rhyme, and I'll throw it in the mainstream to see if it catches and see what happens with the battle. This has been the changing of what hip-hop battles are, ladies and gentlemen, because now, not only can you pop shit, you can now have people dance to you popping shit with other voices on beats. So Marquise and all that, Suede the Remix God, what Metro Boomin did was take what they do and flip it into a rap battle. Instant genius. Because last year for the Hip Hop 50, everybody said hip hop was dead again. It was underwhelming. It wasn't good. Look how technology came into hip hop, especially this year. And now we have people going hard using technology to up the game to its next level. That is fucking genius. With all these producers out here doing producer battles and all this shit, now they can institute themselves into a claim for something in the game that was never there. I always ask this question: what is the voice, or what has hip hop not addressed with his voice that we should look forward to? This is one of those things. Because now the producer has a say in the battle. Technology made a new voice came out in hip hop, and that was the producers. Back in the day, Public Enemy had a DJ, Terminator X. He talks with his hands. He don't speak. He scratches shit in the beat, and that's how he talked. Metro Boomin made a whole beat. BBL Drizzy, best BBL in the whole wide world. Woo, woo. He put all that in the beat. And the shit actually was catching, like, oh shit. And he's dissing Drake the whole time while you nodding to the beat on some R&B shit over a nice trap beat. That changes the culture. If y'all don't see how dope that is, oh my God. Here we go. Mark says producers are made more important now than even 10 years ago. Well, producers are more important now because now they're finally getting recognition. So shout out to the producers and the engineers because they're doing it. But what do y'all think? I mean, talk to me. How do y'all feel? What do y'all think about the conversation of the fans in the stands, the technology, and even the war between the mainstream and the underground coming to a clash? Because we didn't even talk about who won the battle yet. I want to talk about who won the battle, but I want to know what you think. Here's the number: 862-253-1119. I'm looking for these comments. Hit the like button when y'all come in. Shout out to everybody out here watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Y'all are holding me down, and may the Most High bless you. Make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop and look for more. But before we go into who won the battle, I want to play a couple commercials. Maybe one, maybe two, but check this out.
Peace and blessings, everybody, on this wonderful Sunday morning. New merch alert on sale for the next 48 hours, $16. Go to tpublic.com/heritage hip hop. You know the original design, you know the shield, you know the hero, You know how I represent New Jersey, the MC or the artist standing on the stage. Now look at this, in black. New merch available right now on www.tpublic.com. Check out the new merch and get you some, yo. On sale, $16 a shirt for the next 24 hours. Damn. Go get yours today and support the movement. Make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on all social media. Peace.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. And we are celebrating our legends right here, Jersey, baby. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media. Jersey, you know I love you. Jersey, you know we got bars and we got music and we got legends all day. And if you believe in Jersey and you love Jersey like I do, support that Heritage Hip Hop on all social media platforms. This is Redman and I approve this message.
Yo, shout out to Red, yo. And yeah, that's one of the shirts I have on right now. If you want different colors, if you want me to put a different state in that logo for you representing Heritage Hip Hop, contact me. All you gotta do is email me or hit me on the social medias at Heritage Hip Hop in the DM. Send me a message and we'll do that. Shout out to Sajin, my man Mayhem Media, who helps me make these logos, helps get everything ready for me. If you need logos and stuff, Mayhem Media. Hit me up and I'll direct you right to him. But let's continue our conversation because I've been on here a little long and I want to talk about who won the battle. Please call in. Tell me in the comments, who do you think won the battle when it came to Kendrick versus Cole? I'm sorry, it's Kendrick versus Drake. Because my answer may not be what you expect. People say hip hop won. We didn't. No, hip hop didn't win. Hip hop evolved. It changed. Now we gotta see what happens with it. Hip hop did not win because instead of three great MCs coming together to be a force, we always have this beef thing. So that fucked us up. And shout out to Dame Dash, who always said the goal was to get people together rather than beefing. All right. So I salute Dame Dash for that. The winner of this battle was not Drake. I'm gonna tell y'all that straight up right now. Y'all can get mad, y'all could be stans, y'all could be fans. I don't give a shit. Drake did not win this battle. And when Drake waved the white flag on this battle, he took a last shot at Kendrick, but he did say he's tired of this and he don't want to do it no more. So he gave up. Drake sounded tired. Drake sounded like he didn't want to battle. He was over it. Joe Budden said the same thing on his show. B-Dot and people from Double XL said the same thing. Everybody had the same sentiments that Drake was tired because he couldn't do it. He got beat at his own game. So Drake definitely did not win this battle. Oh, we got a caller, y'all. Peace, what's going on?
What's good, man? What's good?
All right, chilling. Introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, yeah, it's your man, Nas Romantic, co-host in the R&B. I do the R&B, man, but I had to chime in on this one right here, man.
Talk about it.
You know, like I said, the internet one.
The internet one? Talk about it. Why you say that?
The internet one, man. Listen, it's one thing to get destroyed lyrically, but then you got the cartoons, you got the memes. I mean, I've seen more memes and cartoons killing Drake than I did Kendrick. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And like you seen the joint I said this morning, like you had the cartoon with Kendrick pushing a knife slow in Drake's chest while you got BBL Drizzy playing in the background. I said, dang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then like you said, on top of that, with him coming back with what he came back with, you know, now you making excuses. Now, you know how it is. Once you lose a fight, you making excuses. Be like, nah, I ain't going through this no more. I'm done with taking my ball and go home. You know, so, you know, I gotta say, man, like, I ain't a stan of either one. I'm just a music fan. And I'm gonna call this one like saying Drake got beat this one.
So Kendrick won to you because the internet or the technology helped push the narrative and made Drake a meme instead of keeping Drake as an artist to you.
Yeah.
And there y'all go. Thanks for calling in, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
Gotcha.
All right.
Peace.
So y'all heard our second call on here, that the internet won, which is very interesting because that's technology taking precedence in the culture as well. You know who did not win? The regions did not win because Kendrick and Drake took this from a Canada to West Coast thing. And when it turned into y'all don't like West Coast niggas, I didn't like that. I did not like that at all. The one thing I did like though is when Kendrick dropped. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to get my notes. I want to make sure I want to get everything right. Not Like Us. When Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, that was West Coast. That was some Bay shit. You had people dancing and representing where they from. Glasses Malone putting shit out. MC8 came out like, oh, that's just crazy. Like people in the West was representing. See, in the East, it's just who got the hardest, who got the hardest lyrics. But Drake always make you dance, right? And Kendrick made a song where they danced all over that boy's pain. But I didn't like the Canada versus the West Coast thing. The culture took a big L. They didn't lose, but it took one when it came to the separation. I like the fact that when it came to the battle, Kendrick called them out. But when he talked about FUBU and us living in from that culture and Drake being a guest from Canada and coming down into the culture, that was very interesting. Because then again, the regions came into it, whether it was true or not. Does that mean people can't come into the culture and add into it? What about Cardinal Official? What about my dude Righteous and Teo Records? What about them folks? How do we accept them? What about GB God Bless? One of the best MCs from Canada ever, period. How do we take that? I don't want people to start looking at the regions and using it against each other because that's really fucked up. My man Watt said Kendrick won. I fuck with both, but he did what he did, Not Like Us, and Push-Ups and Push-Ups best two songs overall to me. I agree. But you know who won? Kendrick Lamar definitely won. And the reason why he won is because he went up against Drake. Which means in the line, it said, is this 20 verse 1 or 1 verse 20? And that was references Drake's ghostwriters. Once again, we talked about in King Kunta, a rapper with a ghostwriter. What the fuck happened? You talking about that, right? Kendrick battled not only the artist, the face of the movement, he battled the team that gives that face his lyrics. So Yachty, Daylight, what was the other motherfucker? Was it Miller or some shit? I don't remember. Quentin Miller. He battled all these motherfuckers by himself and stood his ground and made prolific shit against a team of writers. So that goes to show you that when you real about your shit and you got talent, it don't matter who stands against you. You know how to hold your own off your talent and your know-how. I don't care if people fed Kendrick lines or whatever. If somebody's writing shit for you and sending you reference tracks that you're doing, like we got for Push-Ups, there was reference tracks sent for that where we heard different people's voices, and then the first thing was sounding different than the second, than the third one. Yo, come on now. Kendrick doing that all shit all by himself. He battled a team of niggas in one. He was David versus Goliath. Keep it real. He's the nigga he's the man in the martial arts movie that's fighting against 10 dudes by himself. He's doing it by himself. And he bodied and won a battle with ghostwriters. Kendrick won that. Let's keep it a buck. You know who else won this battle? Drake's ghostwriters. Because lyrically, this was a great battle. Lyrically, it was. And let's keep it real, y'all. If we really knew all of Drake's ghostwriters and how they did their work, this is the perfect platform for them to say, I contributed to this, and it was one of the best battles in hip-hop history. So I don't know if Daylight can make a song. I don't know. Lil Yachty's trash to me. To me, you can argue with me all day. I don't care. That's just my opinion, and I don't give a fuck. But if Yachty's writing his lyrics, Yachty came up because there was things put in there that was very lyrically profound. And I don't know who wrote what, but if we could actually get a chance to dissect that ghostwriting team, they came up in this because they battled and went toe-to-toe. Even though they lost, they battled and went toe-to-toe with now arguably the number one artist of this generation, Kendrick Lamar. And though the beats were trash and a lot of that shit was very uneven, they stood their ground. Them ghostwriters, they get a lot of respect from me because not the artists, because they're not his lyrics, but the people who wrote them bars, they stood their ground. And I give them 100% respect for being front and present for all this. But see, Drake takes the L to me for that because he takes the L out because if you think about Drake dropping back-to-back songs, okay, you write this, send me the reference for that. I got a song that's I want to drop it tomorrow. I want to do back-to-back. So you do this, and then you do that, and then I mean, it's more orchestrated than skill done. There was a rumor that Kendrick Lamar had a napalm bomb that didn't even drop, and that some of these songs that we had, these freestyles, it was a 19-minute song that they chopped and he put out in parts with different beats. That's deep, yo. I'm telling you, there was a lot of shit that went on behind this battle that it'll come out in due time. But when we get to it, head scratches. Drake said, hit me, you better hit me with a quadruple entendre or something. And this man did it twice, back to back with 616 and Euphoria. Kendrick is a bad motherfucker, yo. And shout out to Kendrick Lamar, but also shout out to Drake. Because at the end of the day, no one really was hurt in this battle. Drake's still going to be the top guy because now in hip hop, there is no real losers now because you got the fans in the stands. Fans will always ride with you, but the stands are going to push narratives that are so disgusting that you got to deal with that bullshit no matter what happens. But keeping it real, Drake lost this battle, but he's not going to be hurt by it. Kendrick won this battle. Now comes the hard part. Depending on how good Kendrick's next project is, will determine where he is when it comes to this conversation. Because if Kendrick comes out and drops a dud project, it's a wrap. He won the battle, but did he win the war? Cannabis LL, remember? Cannabis dropped the album, but that shit was so garbage. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know nobody who could tell you they like that Cannabis album. He dropped LL on second round on Knockout. And then when that album came out, you had Niggonometry, which was garbage. That was the next single, right? And then the songs that I remember that was good off of that album was Patriots, Buckingham Palace. And that's it. I don't know no other songs. Cannabis had all these great freestyles, but because he dropped this sour ass album, his career went real quick. If Kendrick could come back with an album as good as Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, or Damn, wow. If he comes back with a project like To Pimp a Butterfly, it would be interesting because that's a concept album. And those are my favorite albums. That's my favorite Kendrick Lamar album. If he comes back with something like Mr. Morale, it's going to take a while for people to grow with it, so he'll probably lose on that. Watt said, I think Mr. Morale was a good album, but I want it from him. Respect. Okay, he said, I think he'll make a more upbeat album next. Well, we'll find out. Because you know what? When Drake said, Whitney, come hit me or something, and I said hit me or something about hitting, he said something about hitting and how hitting for him doesn't mean what it means to Kendrick because Kendrick beats his wife that he kept putting out. He said it meant something different for him. Kendrick has to say something to that because he took it to his woman. And a lot of people say Biggie and Pac would have got their shit together. Listen, I don't know, man. Because when you sleep with a man's wife or you fuck with a man's wife, that's different, man. Kids and wives are that's a whole nother thing, man. That's deep. And I'm going to leave it just like that because I don't know what to say to that. But if anybody else would like to join in the conversation, you could call right now at 253-1119. Shout out to the mayor of New Jersey hip hop, Grumpy Old Man. Shout out to Grump. If y'all know Grump, tune in to A Squad Rebel Radio Saturday. Yo, Grumpy's World, breaking records. That's the man. But yeah, y'all could call in. I'm gonna stay on for a couple more minutes. Call in 862-253-1119. Everybody had all this shit to say about the battle this whole week. And me, let me just tell you, I don't do hot topics. I don't like to jump out the window and all this stuff. It was meant for me to wait because when the battle ended, y'all got this show. And this is one of the best podcasts you'll ever listen to when it comes to hip hop. I'm not all these other folks, and I'm not putting them down. Everybody has their own gift. But my gift is thought-provoking conversation when it comes to hip hop. And one thing I love about hip hop is us. And this battle was a perfect example of us because we got people who think, talk to the people who don't want to think, they just want to vibe. And it's okay to vibe, but Master Killer once said in Triumph, one of the greatest songs ever written by a posse or a group, he said, the deaf and dumb are intrigued by the drum, which means they don't think and they don't hear. All they do is go off of the vibe. So be careful when you're vibing, because vibing can take you off your game. And without your thoughts and your mind being sharpened, you could get taken over by the next person or somebody trying to manipulate you. All y'all people who love Pac, or you swear y'all do, because half of y'all ain't really Pac fans. Y'all just like that ignorant shit. Pac said, really listen to the words. Don't just nod your head to what they're saying. Listen to the words and see if you really agree with that shit. Because this is an agreement. That's not just rhythm. This is a yes. This is an acceptance of what's being said. Another person who won in this battle, Fonte of Little Brother won. Let me tell you why. I saw a post where a woman said, a young lady said that people kept saying something about Drake and Fonte, and she never heard a Little Brother in her life. Then people start listening to Fonte and Little Brother, and they was like, this is where Drake got his style from? And then they started doing the homework, how Drake was talking about Fonte and all them people. Y'all know Little Brother? Go look up May the Lord, I think it's called. It's a Little Brother documentary on it's a Little Brother documentary on YouTube. Go look at that and you learn who Fonte is. Fonte is a beast, and he's one of the most underrated MCs in hip-hop history. Little Brother. May the Lord watch. Thank you. That's the name of the documentary. May the Lord watch. But Fonte, Little Brother, Solo, The Foreign Exchange, Percy Miracles, writing rhymes on... This man was on Sesame Street writing rhymes and writing bars. This man had a show. It's not The Get Down. It was on VH1, but he was like a battle rapper in African attire on the show. Fonte is one of the most eloquent, and he's one of the most talented motherfuckers that ever did this hip hop thing. And I'm telling you, when people found out that the inspiration for a lot of Drake came from Fonte from Little Brother, I'll pray to God Little Brother finally gets their roses. Little Brother was given an award for Heritage Hip Hop. I hope they put it up so all y'all can see it. So Big Pooh, Fonte, please show the world that we recognize y'all and we're happy that y'all getting y'all flowers. But more importantly, Fonte deserves a lot of respect. And to see people now knowing and learning about who Fonte is, oh my God, man. Oh, I just pray that his solo albums get heard more and the Little Brother catalog is more appreciated, because Fonte is nasty and I give him a lot of love and respect. Fonte won out of this battle because now people are going to go back and see where some of this good music came from and where this inspiration came from. Shout out to Drake because he took it to the next level with mainstream acceptance. But Fonte is just as nasty, if not nastier, and he has exceptional talent that cannot be denied. All right. And I'm going to just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what else to say, man. It's a pleasure talking to y'all. We stood on our square tonight. There's no rapid fire questions. Subscribe to heritagehiphop.com to see more. This actual episode is streaming live on heritagehiphop.com right now. So if anybody went to the website while we were on this, y'all see me. So we live from the website as well. So I'd like to thank everybody who visited heritagehiphop.com. Please buy that merch. We got great merch. We got great merch on the site. The song of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, the song of the week, I'm going to focus on the battle. I have 3 songs of the week for you. Matter of fact, I don't have 3 songs of the week. The songs of the week for this battle is the whole playlist of this battle. So I'm going to run it down. Control by Big Sean. King Kunta, Kendrick Lamar. First Person Shooter, Drake. J.Cole, the 7 minute, we ain't touching that. Future and Metro, Like That. Drake, Push-Ups. Rick Ross, Champagne Moments. Drake, Tailor-Made Freestyle. I'm not even listening to Kanye because he had no part in it. Okay. Kendrick Lamar, Euphoria. Kendrick Lamar, 616 in LA. Family Matters, Drake. Meet the Grams, Kendrick Lamar. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Metro Boomin, BBL Drizzy. And The Heart Part 6 by Drake. Listen to everything and enjoy this battle. This is one of the battles for the ages. And no matter who you think won or lost, I'm going to tell you this. Hip-hop got taken to the next level. Technology and beats brought into the battle. Like Nas the Romantic said, memes and cartoons and things excelling in the battle. Fans versus stands. Underground versus mainstream. Popular versus cultural. It's so much, man. Vibes versus lyrics, how you consume music, not just listen to music. All that was on front line in this battle. And the most important thing that I've seen, people with silver hair talk to people with black hair about what's going on with Drake and Kendrick, and hip hop was at the center of the universe once again. Now, who's going to step up and keep raising the bar for hip hop? The answer is me and you. This is Karev at Heritage Hip Hop saying thank you for watching Heritage Hip Hop. This is the Mic Council, where we talk about things that affect the hip hop culture, not just beats and rhymes, but even we talked about technology tonight. I want to say, may the Most High bless you. Continue to live prosperous, peace, and we out.
Real hip hop.